Welcome back to Frank's Garage. After a successful season with El Franco here, we might change that name, but I think it's hilarious. It's time to actually strip her down for the season. She did good. No broken parts, which is amazing. If you remember last year, I broke a transmission every time I drove the car. This year, we had one transmission issue beginning of the year because of a shifter fork breaking. But since then, no problems. So it's that time of year to strip her down. This is my box I take to the track with all my tools that go back in my toolbox. So I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back, organize everything up, and then we're gonna start stripping this thing down for upgrades this winter and hopefully come out swinging. As you can see, I've already stole the map sensor off of it for the Acura. We went out and tuned the Acura last night, turned her up a little bit. Stock motor, everything, completely stock unopened. Well, I opened it, looked at one bearing and put it back together. Runs good. So now it's time to take this girl apart. Do a few upgrades this winter, not much. We have the horsepower. The horsepower is the easy thing, but we just need to get the front half. So we're gonna think about doing rear extended trailing arms. So that will bring the wheel back 2 inches to extend the wheelbase. Lot less mass back there also. And obviously we gotta do something with this front end. As you can see, these fenders did not look like this at the beginning of the season. That was after ruining 4 sets of slicks. Let's not talk about it. And we're gonna have to do a 3-piece front end to solve that issue. And that's really much about it. I mean, motor makes all the power we need. Just gotta get it down. I mean, it's very easy to make the horsepower in a front wheel drive car, 4-cylinder. It's very hard to get them down the track. So I'm gonna start by taking all my tools, putting them back in my toolbox here, organize everything up. We'll start stripping parts down and stacking them up. We had a pallet coming at work. I took a piece of plywood and some 2x4s so I can make some more shelving. But I usually put most of this stuff down in my basement out of the way. So let's get started. I'm excited to see how everything looks inside. Pull the engine apart, pull the transmission apart. But looking over everything, I mean, it looks just the way I put it together, which I'm very impressed and very happy about. I want to shout out everybody that helped me this season, especially the tuner. Always in my corner, always there to help. Any time of the day, he's always there for me. I really appreciate you. But here we go. Alrighty, this is what we got organized. Our bucket's empty. We got all of our sockets in, our wrenches in, all of our wrenches and everything, all good. All of our hand tools. Make some more room here, and then we'll start pulling some stuff apart. All right, I got most of it stripped down here. Harness off, pipes off, intercooler off. I need to go to Harbor Freight and get a new transfer pump, like one of these, but I'm not gonna use that one for my good fuel because this is 1 ethanol R. I don't wanna waste it. So I'm gonna go to Harbor Freight. I gotta return something to O'Reilly's for the Mercedes. I bought a expansion tank, but it came damaged. So I put it on, I used it for a week or so because I needed it. But it's time to go switch it out. So we're gonna take the Acura. I got that in the back seat. And when we get back, we'll transfer all this fuel out, and then we can pull all of our fuel lines off, drain our coolant, and then she's ready to come out. Super simple, take it in and out. So heck yeah. Back home from Harbor Freight. got a transfer pump, some gloves, and they had a deal on a tarp for camping this weekend. Took the Acura, right? I don't know why this is so funny. I went into the video. The tuner's like, how's she running after we tuned it last night? So hold on, I took a video real quick, second gear. Broke second gear just getting into power. Hasn't even been 17 hours since we tuned it. First pull I got on it today, strip second gear. I just think it's hilarious. It's just so funny. And then I come to a stoplight and loses complete power to the ECU and no fuel pump prime. But I was able to fix that somehow and get it home, but I got the stuff I needed to take the fuel out of this. But it's just hilarious. I think it's so funny. Even though you have the AN fitting, aluminum tool, it's a little beat up, but these fittings are like $75 a piece. So I'm putting some tape on them first before I even attempt to get them off. We sucked the fuel out with the transfer pump. Obviously there's still going to be fuel in these lines, but we'll do the best we can to not make a mess and waste our fuel here. I would like to welcome you to Frank's Garage. Welcome. You're now exploring. Figure it out. Yeah. Yes, sir. I can't deal with you screaming anymore. If you have to come out here, you have to come out here.
So we made it back from World Cup Finals. It was a great time. Saw every Civic in the world blow up, every pass. They had to at least go 3 or plus engines per event. A lot of people, we already know this, but they hate front-wheel drive Civics. But we're still going to continue building ours until one day we find a Starlet or like a first-gen Corolla, rear-wheel drive, some kind of small rear-wheel drive vehicle. So, right where we left off the other day, just got to pull the 2 engine bolts, one there and one there, pick her up, put her on the stand, and then take her apart. I'm over here cleaning injectors for someone for a stock Chrysler 300. One of them's completely clogged, so I'm trying to get that cleaned out for him. He gave me some cleaning supplies. These things are amazing. He's like, how much you want for them? I said, bring me some of those wipes you have from work. So he brought me this, and some gloves. So, working on that for him. Just did some leaves as they're blowing around everywhere again. Acura's totaled again still. Got a bad transmission, duh. And also, might have some oil into the ECU. But we're not worried about that right now. So, let's pull these 2 bolts and pull her out. Clutch looks good. Oh, not anymore. You can see there's definitely more heat in the back one on the actual crank. You can see, but working good. but everything looks good. So we're going to continue pulling it. Well, it looks like the epoxy cracked right here. I must have did something wrong. But besides that, everything looks good. It was still sealed really good. These O-rings are flat now, these copper O-rings, so I'm gonna have to put new ones in. You can see they're biting into the head gasket. See the ring all the way around there where it's pressing in, helping her seal. My KDN shifter here. I got my GP1 strain gauge off already. Got the back plate off. I'm gonna send this back to KDN and have them do some service on it. I just know I need some work. I know it's not perfect. I know there's a lot of play in it. It's got a couple broken springs here and there. I bought it used, so I'm gonna send it in. I talked to David, the guy that runs the place. Send it over the border and he'll send it back to me, and hopefully it'll be beautiful. All right, there she is. I'm gonna send her in. There's just like a lot of slop and a lot of stuff. Like I said, it's just scratching there. This will move a lot. I don't think it's supposed to. I filled a different one and it doesn't. It's got a spring that's buried back there. You can see this is supposed to drop down real easy and it's not. I mean, a lot of little things, but for, you know, $2,000 shifter or whatever it is, it's a lot. I want it to be perfect. So I'm going to send it in and spend the $150 or whatever it's going to take to make it perfect. Have them inspect the cables. If I got to change cables, I change the cables, but we don't want to ruin, you know, a $7,000 plus transmission over $150, you know, service call. So we're going to pack this thing up. It's cold out, so it's winter anyways. The engine's over there. Doesn't really matter. Heck yeah, brother. So I'm pretty sure they still have some Black Friday sales at BF Gears. I'm going to pull this apart and see if I need any dog rings, which I can kind of see here. And they don't look bad, but I might need a slider and a ring, which that's maintenance items. You're supposed to, you know, that's what they're made for. So they could come off and you can change them like that. It's better to change, you know, I think they're like $80 right now for a dog ring than replace a $7,000 transmission. So we're about to pull this back apart, see how. Alrighty, so everything looks good. Main shaft looks good. All the gears, dogs, couple little, you know, use marks, but I'm okay with that. Remember how I've always had an issue with this thing going into reverse? Well, you can see it chews up the tip of the reverse there, ring. It tears up the actual reverse gear a little bit and the slider. So I'm thinking the whole time that this is the issue, because when I assemble this thing, even without this gear, I put this thing up in neutral, it still does not mesh correctly. So, and you see there's some chips in this one here.
some there. Not bad, but I'm gonna see what these cost and see if they're still on sale. And it might be worth it because then I might be able to go in reverse. Shifter, forks look good. Everything looks good. So we're gonna check on that, but everything else looks good. I'm happy with it. Looks like it was a rough year, huh? Huh?
Wow. Yay.
Look at that.
All right, so back on the transmission here. I got a new first, second gear slider with the reverse on it. And I got a new dog ring for third and fourth gear. We're gonna put it on the fourth probably because it's a little worn out. I've showed you guys this, but no worries there. I'm just cleaning up the case. We're gonna dry assemble it like always, make sure everything goes through the gears. Then we'll pull it back apart and we'll put the sealer on it and seal it back up. So I got the gear set back together. I got the bearings back on, the hex bolt back in. Everything looks good. So we did a new 1-2 slider up and down, and this is reverse. And we changed a fourth gear dog ring. I could have probably bought another dog ring, but I think we're good. If I see like any sign of wear, I like to replace the part. But hopefully, we're going to try putting it back together with reverse. Hopefully, a reverse works better now that we changed that 1-2 slider, reverse slider. Don't know if that's going to do anything, but it did need it. You can see it's got some chips in it. So, better to change it than not change it. So, working good, working good.